What is up, guys? It's your boy FightNightsFinest, the sofa commentator, here with Real Life, doing a post-fight review of the Paulie Malignaggi fight with versus Adrien Broner, and we got a lot to cover in this review, but
Yeah,
that post-fight interview was crazy. I honestly, it really did look like Paulie was about to cry. That's how emotional he got after the fight. After a great fight. And, some people honestly feel that the sport gets destroyed by judging and how the scoring went. And that 117 to 111 was a big factor in I think, how that post-fight interview went. But on to the fight, what did you think about it before I get into my thoughts?
all right. Yeah, of course, Paulie started off pretty strong, and then started to get well. He didn't get tired, but he definitely slowed down. And Adrien Broner was just counterpunching the entire fight with those really short right straight hands, and he'd steal rounds, I think, with a couple flurries. But I think it was a really close fight. I really don't even know what to think about it. Uh,
Well,
Go ahead.
well, well, honestly, I think it was I'd say 116, 112 in favor of Adrien Broner. I thought his power punching, even though all his shots didn't look like it affected Paulie, he was landing powerful right hands to the face
Yeah,
while Margiani was working the body. And if Paulie's going to work the body, obviously headshots will be counted as more effective. Body shots in the sport of boxing are important, and they do help with scoring points. And for his lack of power, it was an excellent game plan, and he executed it to a T. Broner was still blocking a lot of the shots that were thrown at him. As you heard, the punch stat numbers were he only landed 100 and 200 and change, but threw 700. And Adrien Broner threw 400 and landed 200. So he landed nearly half of his punches. So not the exact punch numbers, but he landed nearly half of his punches. So he's landing effective straight right power hands, being a power puncher, taking the initiative in the fight by bullying him around the ring. And all Paulie was doing was trying to stay on the outside, use his jab, and then throw flurries to the body in order to score points. If somebody's throwing headshots versus body shots, it's going to win every time for the person throwing headshots. So for the scoring part, I see why they gave the fight to Adrien Broner. Now, some of these rounds were close because of the work rate that Paulie was putting out. But Broner was landing the more effective shots. And you heard Bernard Hopkins and Zab Judah saying, this is good that Paulie's working, he's working. But he has to do something to keep Adrien Broner from dictating the pace of the fight. And with that being said, those first early rounds, Paulie was going to come out strong. But Adrien Broner never has any good rounds. So later on in the fight, I think the pace changed up because I think he got a little tired. Like, you can't keep up that kind of work rate that he had in the first 3 rounds and just keep throwing punches like that for 12 rounds. That's not possible. But, I thought they both fought smart. It was a great fight. Like they said, they both had to make adjustments, and both fighters adjusted well. But, yeah, that's my view of the fight.
yeah. I kind of expected a little more. I thought Broner might have put him away. Wasn't very impressive showing for either guy, and I don't think Broner's gonna stay up at 147. I think he's gonna probably drop down to 140. Probably a lot better fights down there for him. He's gonna do like a poll or something, he said, and the fans can choose who he fights. And of
Well,
course, you ever
well, with that being said, his mandatory without question is Marcus Maidana, I think it is. He has a mandatory fight. Without question, he has to wait till after that fight before he lets fans pick his fight. Me, I thought it was a very impressive showing for both fighters. Even though nobody went down and nobody knocked each other down, or Adrien Broner didn't come away with a knockout. It showed his maturity as a boxer. It showed the heart of both fighters. It showed the abilities of both fighters to adjust. And it was a very impressive showing for both fighters. And just the way things seemed, it looked like there could even possibly be a second match between these two. So I'm thinking, Marcus Maidana, that's going to be a tough fight for Broner, but I still see Broner winning that one. I like how they they compared him to Floyd and showed the differences in the fight. But for the most part, it's Adrien Broner. He's definitely the future of boxing. He's definitely has a bright future ahead of him if he can keep winning. At 147, I could still see him staying there and, dominating in that weight class. Paulie has an excellent chin. As you heard, he was only knocked down 2 times in his career. And through most of he's never been knocked out. He had a few stoppages like against Miguel Cotto. But for the most part, he takes shots really well and he has an excellent chin. So it's no surprise that he didn't get knocked out.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think we'll see Paulie again. I think he's going to retire.
No, I can see him still fighting. I mean, there's still fights out there left for him. He just doesn't have the power needed. I think it would be smart for him to retire. But after this showing, there's plenty of fights that he can get set up without question. Even though he's at 147, he could probably drop down to 140 and do something. There's fights out there from him. Him and Zab Judah will actually be a great fight if he decides to drop down. I could see some more fights in the lineup for Paulie after a very impressive showing for both fighters. Let us know in the comment section what you guys thought of the fight, what you see for both fighters coming up, and just your overall opinion of the review. But this is your boy, Fight Night's Finest, the sofa commentator with Relapse, signing off.
Peace.